Hey guys, welcome back to Steven's DIY Auto Repair. Is one of your headlights not working in your Hellcat? Well, stay tuned because I'm going to show you how to fix that problem. Okay guys, so to give you a background on your headlights for your Charger Hellcat, it takes the HID lights, which stand for high intensity discharge. So unlike your conventional halogen bulb lights, your conventional halogen bulbs, these do not use a filament, but instead use two electrodes. There's a high voltage pulse that's sent to the bulb and arcs across the tips of the electrodes, and that's how the light is produced. It creates light from those electrodes, from the discharge between the electrodes and the gas-filled arc tube. So your HIDs contain your discharge arc source. It also contains an igniter, a ballast, and obviously your headlight assembly. Okay guys, so I've had this problem before, and I'm gonna take you through the steps that I used in order to solve my headlight problem. The first thing you wanna always do is check your relays and check your fuses. So let's do that. Okay, so in order to find your fuses, you could take off your fuse box lid and come over here and find, okay, so F15 is your left headlight and F16 is your right headlight. And we go over here and find F15 and F16. And comparing it to the layout we have here, it's gonna be these two right here. So we come back over and make sure we still have a good ground on battery positive, and we have the light lit. Can you guys see that? Okay. So then we're gonna come over here to the F15 and F16 fuses. We have power, and we have power, and that's gonna be on F15, which is our left headlight. So we know the left headlight works. So now we're trying, the right headlight doesn't work. So now we're gonna check F16, which is the right headlight. So we come over here and we have power on that side, and we check the other side and we still have power. So our fuse is good. So now comes the next step. Okay guys, so the next step after I completed checking the fuses and found they were both still good, you have, in order to access the headlight assembly for the left and the right side, you're gonna have to take off the front bumper. So let's do that. Okay guys, and as always, safety first. We have both sides jacked up on jack stands properly. 2 jack stands on each side, plus the jack with a little bit of pressure as added safety. So we won't be really going under the car too much this time, just for something simple, body pan that I gotta show you that you gotta take off. Other than that, most of your work's gonna be out from underneath the car. Okay guys, so the only 2 bolts that you're gonna have to take out from the bottom is this one here and this one here, disconnecting the front belly pan from the belly pan in the rear that covers the oil pan. You don't need to take this off from the front bumper because it's all gonna come out in one piece. So all we have to do, I already loosened these for you guys, so you don't have to be bored with that. So all you have to do is take these 2 out and loosen it from this other belly pan. Okay guys, so we're gonna go ahead and take off this tire. We're gonna take off both front tires. Mine takes a 22 millimeter, and I'm using a Milwaukee high torque impact wrench. So let's get started. Okay, so there's the tire, and the other one's gonna be the same thing. Okay guys, once you remove the wheel, you're gonna have access to the wheel well. Next is gonna be the fun part. And fun, I don't literally mean fun. You're gonna have to take out all of these little plastic clips. And there's several of them all around. In order to remove this, your firewall here, your wheel well, in order to remove your bumper. So let me show you a couple of those and then I'll bring you back. Okay guys, in my previous video for the oil change video, I said that there was a special tool in order to get out these plastic pins. Well, here it is. Very simple, very cheap, and this thing is amazing. I bought this one at Harbor Freight for about $5 with a coupon. I'll put a link in the description below so you guys could pick one of these up too. It's so great that I actually even bought 2 of these. So let me show you how it's done. So you just come in here and you just squeeze and it literally pulls it out. Again, if you can see these little notches here, you just get it in there, squeeze. It's kind of hard to do this with one hand, guys. And just pull it out. Let's do one more. Very easy, and you don't break the pins that way. So after I get all these out, I will bring you guys right back. Okay guys, and so once you get all the pins off, you can move the wheel well and access your front bumper area here, where there's going to be 2 bolts. I don't know if you can see. There's going to be 2 bolts up in here. I don't know if you guys can see that up there. So there's going to be 2 bolts up there. They're going to be 10 millimeters, a 10 millimeter bolt, and it's going to be very helpful if you have like a stubby flexible head ratchet to get up in there, because it's a pretty tight space. So there's going to be 2 bolts that initially are going to hold this bumper onto your other bumper. Right in here, there's going to be a bolt right here and a little bit farther inside here on both sides. Okay guys, after getting those 2 bolts off each side, you're going to come up top and you're going to take off these pins right here on top to remove this plastic faucet. This one's a little hard to get to because it's recessed, so we're probably going to have to take a screwdriver to that one and to this one as well. So let's just take a flathead, carefully go under here and pop these up just like that. So now, take that off, and now it's free from the frame. Okay, so once you remove those pins, you're going to take your 10 millimeter, and there's going to be a bolt right here on each side holding the front bumper to the other side. Once you get it cracked loose, you could just unscrew it with your hands. 2 hours later. Just kidding, guys. It's a pretty simple job. There it is. Now let's do the other side. I should start telling jokes, but I'm not good at jokes. So, unfortunately, you guys just have to endure the quietness. My face is a little funny, but other than that, I'm not too much of a jokester. And then there it is. Okay, guys, once you guys get all the fasteners loosened, before you attempt to pull the bumper off, you want to make sure to disconnect your side marker light here, because if you try to pull the bumper off, it's not going to come off, or you're going to yank this off and you're going to have a very bad day. So make sure on each side you disconnect the side marker light before you attempt to remove the bumper. So now, once everything is completely done, let's remove the bumper. So once you've ensured all the fasteners are loosened, or I'm sorry, all the fasteners are taken out and the connectors are disconnected, you just want to grab and just pull. And then your whole bumper comes right off. Okay guys, so as I told you earlier, that extra body piece will come off with the bumper. I mean, if you guys want to disconnect it before doing all this, it's just a little bit more work, but it all will come off in one piece. Okay guys, now to remove your headlight assembly, you've got 4 8mm bolts or fasteners, one here, one here. If you come down on the bottom, here's another one, and then the 4th one is right here. And it's going to help if you have an extension to get back in there. So let's go ahead and take those loose. Once you get those loose, well, no. I was gonna say you can do it by hand, but I still can't do it by hand. Okay, so there's one. Okay guys, here's the last bolt. And I like to keep a little organized, so I have plenty of these magnetic trays. Comes in real good handy. I got one here and one over here for the other side. Also got a Harbor Freight. I can put the link in the description and below, so you can pick yourself up some as well. So now that it's loose, the headlight pops right out. But again, you got to be careful, because you're going to have a connector right here, and it just disconnects, and then there is your light assembly. And you can already see here is your HID ballast. And then your HID is gonna sit right in this side. And you just turn and it pops off. So you remove the cap and it exposes your igniter that's attached to your HID bulb. Okay guys, so if you want to ensure that your bulb is bad or if it's good, you're gonna have to switch the bulbs and see if the problem switches with it. So we know that the left headlight works, but the right one is not. So if we switch the light bulbs, in theory, if it's the bulb, the left one will not work anymore, but the right one will start to work. So it's important to do this because even an aftermarket HID bulb, you're looking at $150 for one bulb. So it's good to test it to ensure that you're replacing the right part. So what you want to do is come over here. You want to push in, squeeze it together, and pull down to disconnect the ballast from your bulb. Then you want to come in here and there's this white plastic ring. You just want to turn it. It's kind of hard to get my hand in there. Turn it to the left until you hear it click like that, and then you can remove your HID bulb. And make sure not to touch the bulb with your bare hands, as your oil from your hands can cause the bulb to fail prematurely. So then we're going to come over here. We're going to come over here and we're going to do the same thing. Squeeze, pull down, twist, and pull out. So then we're going to take the known good bulb, come over here, and place it inside, and then twist the ring and it will snap back. Then you're going to reconnect the ballast just like that. And then you're going to do the same thing with the other side. And then once I get it put together, we'll bring you back and see if it's the bulb. All right guys, and we're back. So now we went ahead and switched the light bulbs and got it connected back together with one bolt to hold the headlight fixture so it doesn't fall out. Okay guys, so as you can see, the left headlight is working. So after switching the bulb, that did not solve the problem. So we've eliminated the bulb being the problem. So now let's move on to the ballast. And I will bring you right back when we get to that point. Okay guys, and we're back. So in order to remove your ballast, it's going to take a T20 in order to get these fasteners off. So I've already started for you guys. So now that you have the fasteners removed, you're going to take a flathead screwdriver and gently pry, very gently, pry and then kind of work it out because as you can see in here, it's got a rubber seal on it. So then you take this little rubber thing off. I don't know if you guys can see that. So you're just gonna pinch on this, remove that connector, and then you're gonna come over here. It's kind of hard with these. So all you have to do is just pull this and it comes out. And here's your ballast. So now we're gonna switch this one with the good headlight and see if the problem moves with it. So we'll bring you right back. Okay guys, now we took the known good headlight ballast, and we're gonna install it into the one that is the headlamp that is bad. So we'll just go ahead and reconnect that. Pop that back in. Make sure it's connected good. And then gently put your wires back in. Remember, you have that rubber grommet that's around that kind of seals the inside. So just remember you have that on there, and to make sure that goes in nicely. So then you're just going to reinstall the screws or fasteners. And then I will bring you guys back when we test it and to see if it's the ballast. So see you in a bit. And we're back, guys. So as you can see, after swapping the ballast, the right headlight is still not working. And we come to our left headlight, it's still working. So now we've eliminated the ballast being the problem. The other thing that it could be, the wires connecting the ballast to the HID bulb and igniter could be bad, or the connector, the main connector that connects to the headlight. So what we can do in that situation, we could swap the whole headlight assembly and ensure that the connector is not the problem, or the wires from the ballast to the HID bulb itself is not the problem. So let's do that now. And I will bring you guys back once we get that. And welcome back, guys. So we took the right headlamp that was not working and connected it to the left side. As you can see, the light is working perfectly fine. So now we've eliminated the main connecting harness that connects to the headlight assembly, and now we have ruled out the headlight assembly itself with the wires connecting the ballast to the HID bulb. So what can be left? Well, I'll bring you back and we'll find out. Okay guys, so the last thing that we're gonna do here is I'm gonna show you the simple way to fix your headlight, or the simple way I fixed my headlight with the problem that I had right here. This simple 20 amp fuse. We're gonna put this fuse in where it's supposed to go, and then we're gonna step back and see if the headlight works. Okay guys, as you can see, now the right headlight is working, as well as the left headlight is working. Okay guys, so the lesson here is to, even when you check your fuse, when you test it with your test light like we did, be sure to pull your fuse and visually inspect it. The reason why I say that is because when my initial headlight went out and the way it was doing, I checked it just like as I showed you guys with the test light. So on the old fuse that was in here originally, as I checked it with the test light lit on both sides, assuring me that the fuse was good. So I took the test light for it, if you will, and I proceeded to do what I showed you. And once all that failed, I went to the fuse that I had tested that the light said it was good, and I pulled it, and I noticed technically the fuse was good, but there was a bunch of corrosion around it. So the problem that I had when my light went out, I noticed when the car was cold, the light would work. But as the car heated up, or I turned off the car and tried to turn on the car, my right headlight would not work anymore. So what I'm assuming happened with it was the corrosion was causing a higher resistance, and there wasn't enough current flowing through because of the corroded fuse. So correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but that's my theory behind it. So the lesson here is always not only test your relays or your fuses, but also to physically, visually inspect them. So this job could have easily, if you would have took it to the dealer, cost you hundreds, if not $1,000, in order for them to test the system. Okay guys, so in that respect, doing it myself, or doing it yourself, will save you a lot of money, because this job turned into just a $2 fuse. If I would have taken it to the dealership, it would have cost at least $150 for a diagnostic fee. So I don't regret the way I went about this the first time, because it was a good experience taking apart the bumper and testing the HID bulb, the ballast, and the headlight assembly as reassurance that there's nothing else wrong. Because if you would have caught this in the very beginning and replaced the fuse and go on, your fuse could have blown again, or not blown, but it could have, there could have been a bigger problem in the system, and you wouldn't have caught it unless you would still have to go through all that process of elimination. So I hope you guys liked the video. It is a little long, but I want to make sure that you guys understand how to do the process of elimination. Make sure you guys subscribe to that bell. That way you get notified when I upload another video, and there's going to be plenty more videos coming. I can guarantee you I'm not afraid to jump into this car and show you guys how it's done. So until next time, see ya. Okay guys, so I don't have the fuse with me from the first time I did this, but I do have a picture of it, and I will post it up for you in the video so you guys can see what it looked like. I'm gonna go ahead and put this back together, but I'm not gonna put you guys through that, because putting it back together is just the opposite of taking it off. So until next time.